Hi, friends, and welcome to Beyond the Pavement. I'm Jess Murphy, and I'm so glad you're here today. This podcast is for anyone who's ever felt unseen, unheard, or misunderstood. And if that's you, I want you to know something right from the start. Your voice matters. This is more than just a podcast, it's a conversation, a movement, a safe place to tell real stories about real people. We're pulling back the curtains on what homelessness really looks like, what recovery really takes, what healing actually feels like messy, hopeful, complicated, and beautiful. I've walked that pavement myself. I've lived in the shadows. I've faced addiction. I've faced homelessness. And some days that felt too heavy to survive. But I did survive. And I'm here now, not just to tell my story, but to help you tell yours too. Whether you're someone who's been there, someone who's working in this space, or just someone who wants to understand, you belong here. So let's grab that cup of coffee, get comfortable, take a breath, and let's start from the beginning. The first thing I would like to talk about is why Beyond the Pavement exists, why this podcast needed to be created, and why I believe it's time. For most of my life, I felt like I was the outside looking in. I didn't have a roadmap. I didn't grow up with safety nets. I didn't always know where I'd sleep at night or where I would get my next meal. I experienced homelessness, addiction, trauma, the kind of stuff that makes people feel uncomfortable when you say it out loud. But I also found recovery. I found purpose. I found community. And slowly, I found my voice again. And here I am. This is me using it. For every person trying to find your voice, I know what it feels like to be silenced, to be misunderstood, to be labeled. And I also know how powerful it is when someone is finally listening. When someone says, "I see you, I hear you, you matter." That's what this podcast is about. So, what can you expect from Beyond the Pavement? You're going to hear re- real, raw, unpolished stories. You'll hear from people who've been through the fire and came out changed. There will be solo episodes like this one where I will open up about my own experiences, everything from sleeping on back porches of businesses to rebuilding my life one messy piece at a time. I'll also bring on guests, folks who are doing the work in the nonprofit space, people in recovery, advocates, social workers, and people who've lived through what most of society would rather ignore. Where we will talk about homelessness, addiction, mental health, poverty, parenting, recovery, justice, healing, and hope. Not as buzzwords, but as lived experiences. This podcast is for truth tellers, bridge builders, for anyone who ever had to start over, and for anyone ready to listen, learn, and lean in. So let me just share a piece of my story, just a little glimpse, so that way you know who you're walking with. I'm a mom, a wife, a nonprofit professional, a woman in recovery. I have 15 years sober from drugs and 4 years sober from alcohol. But before all of that, I was scared, tired, and a broken girl. I've slept outside. I've cried on the bathroom floor. I have relapsed. I have restarted numerous times. I can't even tell you how many. I've been the one asking for help, and I have been the one offering it. There was a night I slept in the redwood forest, no food, just fear and shame. And I thought, this can't be the end. That thought, that flicker, was the beginning of everything. Now, years later, I've worked with families experience homelessness. I've raised money to support different charities. I have started a couple of different nonprofits. I've shared stories that matter, and now I'm here with you. This is my way of giving back, of holding space and creating something I wish I had when I was in the dark. Beyond the Pavement is more than just storytelling. It's a call to action. If you're listening to this and thinking, I've never experienced that, but I want to understand, you're in the right place. If you're listening and thinking, that sounds like me, you're not alone. I believe in radical empathy, the kind that changes the way we see each other. And I believe that storytelling can change the systems because people change systems and people move when their hearts are moved. So, going forward, I want to ask you to do a few things. Keep listening, especially when it gets uncomfortable. Share the episodes that hit you hard, that make you feel something. Reach out to reach out to me if you have a story to tell. I want this to be a space where lived experiences leads the way because that's how we build understanding. That's how we create change. So here's what's coming next. On Thursdays, I will drop a new podcast episode. Some will be solo, like this one, except for this one's just an intro. The next few episodes, we're going to dive in a little bit deeper. So, some of them will feature guests, all of them will be grounded in truth. On Tuesdays, you can head over to beyondthepavement.blog to read new blog posts that go even deeper. These will include written stories, reflection, and resources that will help you take what you've heard and turn it into action or just inspiration. You can also follow us on social media, and if this mission speaks to you, support it, share it, live it, talk about it, help it grow. If you're a nonprofit doing this work, let's connect. I want to spotlight you and I want to list you on our resources on our website. If you've lived this, let's talk. Your voice deserves to be heard. And if you just want to learn, I invite you to walk beside us. With all of that being said, I'm going to close this podcast with this. You are not broken. You are not your past. You are not invisible. You are a story still being written, and your voice matters. So, whether you're walking through it, walking beside someone, or walking your way back home, know this. You are welcomed here, you are seen, you are loved, and together we will go beyond the pavement. I want to thank you for listening to today's episode, and I am Jess, and I will see you next week.